Taylor Swift, her latest Red, Eastern Connecticut's country station, 97.7 WCTY, WCTY.com. Johnny G hanging out with you, taking you right up to the midnight hour. In for Jesse. And speaking of Jesse, he's visiting us here in the studio. He's back from the game, so...
I'm a guest on my own show.
A guest on your own show. So tell us a little bit about your experience tonight.
It was great. We went down there, and Mac and I and our buddy Tim, and Mac, by the way, a Purple Heart Wounded Warrior, along with Tim, and then we met up with a bunch of other veterans. We met up with a Vietnam veteran, and then from all sorts of eras, veterans all the way on up to Iraq and Afghanistan. We learned a lot about what was going on for tomorrow, a big day for tomorrow. And Country Mo, that was our Vietnam vet, actually, from the Vietnam conflict. And about 12, 13 of us went out to the Pitcher's Mound and dedicated our evening to our heroes in uniform. And tonight was from the Korean War. As tomorrow, or just a couple hours from now, is going to be the 60-year anniversary from the end of the Korean War. And so many people lost in that conflict, and it was great to recognize them, and 316 from here in Connecticut. So we honored them tonight, and everyone else.
And I can relate with that because I had some family that served over during Korea.
Yeah, it's one of those wars. They never signed an actual declaration of conflict on that war, so it was the Dark War or the Forgotten War. But we're talking a lot of people were involved with this war, and a lot of people, over 8,000 people, are still unaccounted for from that conflict. 8,000 people considered to be missing in action. I mean, some of the numbers: 6.8 million Americans served in the armed forces at the time between June 25th, 1950, and July 27th, 53. Over 103,000 of those were wounded in action. 33,700 killed in action. 316 from Connecticut, 7,000 held as POWs, and over 8,000 still to this day are considered missing in action. That's some pretty powerful numbers. And it took down in East Lyme, Mac was saying, over 27 minutes to name the 316 people.
Wow. So
that, to put it into perspective, that each individual means something. It wasn't just the number that there were 316 people lost, but each one of these individuals had lots of family back home that were waiting for them to come home, and that not just indigenous to Korea, but when we have our people here in Eastern Connecticut, whether they're out in a submarine, or out with the engineering force, or the MP company that just came back, it's nerve-wracking for all of our families that are back here too. So it's not just you have one soldier serving overseas; you have an entire family, in essence, serving right here in Eastern Connecticut. And it was nice to see the people out there, because one of the guys that joined me out on the Pitcher's Mound was actually a guy I did a dedication for in the past.
Cool.
And then his loved one sent it over to him, and he had the MP3 of his dedication within 50 minutes of me doing it in Afghanistan. So that was a really cool thing.
That was good.
And to hear
good
that.
Thing you do every weeknight, Jesse. My hat comes off to you.
And his name's Matt too. He's a helicopter guy. Thanks.
Helicopter guy.
Well, it's the least we can do. We're not the heroes. We just really project and talk. We exploit heroes. That's what we do here. We exploit these heroes, and because these are the guys without the cape. These are the guys without the mask, and these are the guys that don't even want recognition. And that's where we step up as civilians to give them the recognition they deserve, and for us as civilians to step up and to let our lawmakers and our government agencies know that we want the best for them,
right?
And we want, and we won't demand any less to have our soldiers, and especially those who are wounded in conflict, when they come back home, to make sure they get the attention, the medical attention, mental rehabilitation and therapy that they need to reacclimate themselves back to society, and with all of us. So it's up to us to kind of be the generals of the civilian front, and back here at home, to make it happen, and to make sure the word is out there. And we're not here to tell you who to vote for, but we're here to tell you, whoever you vote for, to tell them that they need to support our troops. You know what I mean? Not to even be political about it, because it's not about the politics. It's not about who does what for what countries. It's really about our guys who might have watched the towers fall and signed up for that reason, or because they had a kid, or because they were an uncle, and are the prone to protect their parents. That's why they went out there. And then that's why it's up to us, no matter if who you're behind politically or what you think, to support the troops in any capacity. So, but that's it. But I've taken up this time in my own show.
It is your show.
Thank you, Johnny G. And we're very privileged, and thank you very much to our Connecticut Tigers for recognizing our heroes in uniform and for giving us the opportunity to be a part of it.
Thanks once again for doing that every weeknight, and thanks to all the men and women out there who serve, who just some give the ultimate sacrifice, and we just pray that everybody comes home safe and sound on every trip. And thanks again for all that you do out there, all the men and women in our military.
Cool.
That was my first interview.
Oh yeah.
I'm practicing for the Stu Breyer show.
This is what I did right here. Look at that. Look at this guy. Johnny G. Jimmy G or Johnny G?
Johnny G.
You're the man.